Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is still 5th of January, now it's 20 past 6 in the evening Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my second update for the day in which I will share latest report of Russian media outlets about major and interesting news that become available in last several hours since my first update. And well, I will start with a report of RIA Novosti about work of Russian air defense systems. And well, according to this information, Ukrainian Neptune anti-ship missile was shut down over the Black Sea in the northern western part of Black Sea. Yet another attempt of Kiev regime to strike in direction of Crimea, in direction of Russian Black Sea fleet, was basically neutralized by Russian forces. RIA Novosti is also reporting that Germany's government made the decision to supply another, and already did supply another package of military assistance to military aid to Kiev regime. And in this package, German government sent to Zelensky and his associates Skynex air defense system, also 10 Marder infantry fighting vehicles, munition for Leopard 2 A6 tanks, also missiles for Iris-T air defense systems, and few radars, TRML-4D, also 155 millimeter shells, 10,000, almost 10,000 155 millimeter shells. Yet again, Berlin demonstrates, Germany's government demonstrates its Russophobia, its attitude towards Russia, and well, it's quite unfortunate because one day or another, but there will be retaliation, and Germany will pay price for criminal actions of its government. That's how it's gonna be. RIA Novosti is reporting, and Germany already pays price in many ways. And after all, the industrialization of Germany is a real thing. It's happening right now, and this is one of the consequences of criminal policies of current German government. Anti-German, not just anti-Russian, but also anti-German policies of these criminals in leadership of Germany, modern Germany. But anyway, let's continue. RIA Novosti is reporting that in Iran, several individuals were arrested in connection with the terrorist attack in Kherson that took place a few days ago. Interesting developments. Let's see what investigation will state about these terrorist attacks. I think there is quite high likelihood that Iranian investigation will find a trace of US or Israeli secret services in this terrorist attack, which will be, of course, huge, which will cause possibly huge escalation, which may provoke huge escalation in the region. Let's wait and see. Today already I did share on my Telegram page information that Iran is getting ready for retaliation. There is all signs on the ground that Iran is getting ready for retaliation. The only question is what kind of actions will be taken by Tehran. Let's continue, and most likely many of you already know this information that US supersonic strategic bomber did crash today, B-1B Lancer bomber, during the training flight. Once this plane was going back to its base in South Dakota, some error there did occur, and plane did crashed. Quite a capable bomber of Cold War era. Also, TASS news agency is reporting that Finland is planning to ban imports of Russian LNG liquefied natural gas from 2025. Well, interesting news. Well, good luck with these anti-Russian steps to Finland, because of the actions of this current government of Finland. Finnish society will also will end up in difficult situation. I believe it's almost inevitable at this point. But yet again, who to blame? In case of Germany, it's German leadership to be blamed. In case of Finland, it's Finnish leadership to be blamed. And I guess at some point, societies, not just in Finland and Germany, but in collective West in general, will begin realizing that their own so-called elites are basically most destructive force that they are facing right now. And maybe some steps will be taken by society to improve situation somehow. But anyway, let's continue. And this is gonna be last news for this short update. After this news, I will share with you latest report of Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operation during the previous week. Quite interesting news that was shared with public by Russian Defense Ministry. But this information is about car manufacturers. According to RT, Russia's Rolls-Royce, it's irony, of course. So Russia's Rolls-Royce targets a mass market. Quite interesting. Russian high-end car maker Aurus. Russian president is using car from this car manufacturer, this Russian car manufacturer Aurus. So Russian high-end car maker Aurus, best known for producing limousines for the Russian president, is expected to broaden its range of vehicles by adding 2 more affordable and mass market models, according to Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov. Sales of new large executive and business class sedans will be launched in 2025, the official said on Thursday in an interview with the TASS news agency. So, well, quite good news, I will say, even though I will probably never have an opportunity to buy this type of cars, at least because they probably are too expensive. This is high-end cars, but well, it's good that because of this enlargement of this company, additional workplaces will be created, and economy will benefit from this development, which is great. And the most importantly, there's supposed to be demand on these cars, isn't it? Otherwise, why would Aurus even think about creating additional models of the cars, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue now with the latest report of Russian Defense Ministry on progress of special military operations. So, in the period from 30 December of 2023 to 5th January 2024, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out 41 group and 1 massive strikes with high-precision weapons and unmanned aerial vehicles on decision-making centers, objects of the Ukrainian military industrial complex, military airfield infrastructure, arsenals, and fuel bases. Attacks were also carried out against the positions of Ukrainian armed forces, nationalist formations, and foreign mercenaries. All the assigned targets have been engaged. Over the past week, units of West Group of forces have repelled 18 local-scale counteroffensives of armed forces of Ukraine in Kupiansk direction. Kupiansk direction is, of course, most northern sector of the front line at this point, and main hotspot is, of course, this settlement Sinkovka. I did spoke about this settlement so many times, and as I predicted, by the way, that Russian side will begin heavy bombing of this area. Exactly this is happening, according to reports from several military channels, and I guess in after next several days, once Ukrainian defense lines will be destroyed by these air raids and missile strikes, Russian forces will probably begin another wave of ground operations towards Sinkovka. But anyway, let's continue. So attacks were also carried out against the positions of Ukrainian armed forces, nationalists and foreign mercenaries. All the assigned targets have been engaged. I already said this. Over the past week, 18, as I said, local scale counteroffensives have been repelled. Airstrikes and artillery fire defeated the Ukrainian manpower and equipment close to Ivanovka, Berestove, Vishnyovoe, Kupiansk, Pishchane, Petropavlovka, Sinkovka, Terny, Timkovka, and several other settlements in Kharkov and Lugansk, in Kharkov region and Lugansk People's Republic. Ukrainian armed forces, as a result of this local scale clashes and Russian strikes in Kupiansk direction, lost 485 troops, 6 tanks, including 1 Leopard 2 tank, 11 armored fighting vehicles, 24 motor vehicles, 7 Olha and Czech-made Vampire MLRS launchers, as well as 8 field artillery guns. In addition, 3 munition and fuel depots of armed forces of Ukraine were destroyed. So basically, even though on Kupiansk direction intensity of clashes between the sides are quite low, relatively low, if you compare it to Donetsk sector of the front line or South Donetsk sector, still on Kupiansk direction Ukrainian armed forces lost almost battalion, 485 military personnel and quite a number, few dozens of military equipment, including tanks and armored fighting vehicles. Next is Krasny Liman direction, where a Russian center group of forces in cooperation with operational, tactical and army aviation and artillery have repelled 4 local scale counteroffensives launched by Ukrainian armed forces. Clusters of manpower and armed forces of Ukraine were hit close to Chervon Dibrova settlement, which is Lugansk People's Republic, also Tarskoye, Grigorievka, Donetsk People's Republic, and the Serbiansky Forestry. Ukrainian armed forces on Krasny Liman direction, as a result of these local scale clashes and offensive operations of Russian forces, lost 690 military personnel during the previous week, also 2 tanks, 11 armored fighting vehicles, 24 motor vehicles, and 5 field artillery guns. Next is Donetsk direction, and when it comes to Krasny Liman, during the previous week, I will highlight that during the previous week, main achievements I will say that Russian forces had was in direction of Terny and Yampolovka in this area on the northern flank of Seversk city, and at this point we can I believe we can say that it's only a matter of time and Ukrainian forces will withdraw from left bank of the Zherebets river to the right bank of this river, and these settlements, Terny, Yampolovka, also Novosadovo, will most likely become under Russian control. Next is Donetsk sector of the front line. According to Russian Defense Ministry, southern group of forces of Russian army, with assistance of aviation, frontline aviation and artillery, have repelled 9 local scale counteroffensives launched by Ukrainian armed forces. And as a result of local scale skirmishes, reckoning force operations, offensive operations in this sector, Ukrainian forces during the week lost 1,990 military personnel killed and wounded, also 4 tanks, 17 armored fighting vehicles, including 2 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, 64 motor vehicles, and 26 field artillery guns. Well, quite a big losses on part of Ukrainian army in Donetsk sector of the front line, which is the most active sector, even though overall I will call situation on a line of contact as an operational pause. But because of this local scale skirmishes, artillery duels, missile strikes, and so on, of course, Ukrainian armed forces are suffering severe losses, and Donetsk sector is usually most active in this regard. In South Donetsk sector of the front line, East group of forces of Russian army did repel 5 local scale counteroffensives of Ukrainian army. And as a result of clashes in this area, in South Donetsk sector, Ukrainian armed forces lost more than 950 military personnel, 12 armored fighting vehicles, 27 motor vehicles, and 17 field artillery guns. As we all know, most active sector when it comes to South Donetsk is Vremyevsky salient area here, of course, and this village Novomikhailivka. This village Novomikhailivka on the eastern part of South Donetsk sector. Next is Zaporizhzhia sector. So in this direction, Russian troops repelled the enemy attacks north of Novoprokopovka settlement. Moreover, Ukrainian armed forces, military personnel, and hardware were hit by the Russian armed forces near Verbovo settlement, also Orekhovo, Kamenskoye, Lukyanovskoye, Novodanilovka, and of course Rabotino. As a result of clashes in Zaporizhzhia sector of the front line, Ukrainian armed forces lost 350 military personnel, 1 tank, 15 armored fighting vehicles, and 18 motor vehicles. As I said many times, and basically Russian Defense Ministry's report confirms this, most active area in Zaporizhzhia sector is of course Orekhov bridgehead and settlement Rabotino. Main hotspot is still of course settlement Rabotino, although we can say that entire this area, Novoprokopovka, Rabotino, Verbovo, Novopokrovka, Malaya Takmachka, and even Orekhov itself is one big area of the military activity. And of course, initiative is in Russian hands. And the next and final sector is Kherson direction, of course. And according to Russian Defense Ministry, Dnieper group of forces and Russian armed grouping in Kherson direction has named Dnieper group of forces. So this group of forces, in cooperation with the artillery, defeated the Ukrainian armed forces manpower on the right bank of the Dnieper River, close to Tyaginka, Ivanovka, Sadove, and Tokaryevka. That's the Kherson region. As a result of Russian troops' actions, the Ukrainian armed forces lost in this sector 225 military personnel killed and wounded during the previous week. And of course, the Russian Defense Ministry did not mention, but of course, main hotspot on Kherson sector is Krinky settlement, central part of this village, which is still partially controlled by Kiev regime, but at this point it's only a matter of days, I believe, and Ukrainian forces will finally withdraw from this area, and that will be dismal end of the so-called Ukrainian Kherson offensive. Also, Russian Defense Ministry is reporting that in Kherson direction, Russian armed forces managed to destroy on the right bank of the Dnieper River 1 tank, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 28 motor vehicles. Also 14 Ukrainian boats were destroyed while they were trying to cross the Dnieper River, mainly, and 1 Bukem 1 air defense systems, and 11 field artillery guns, also 1 electronic warfare station, and ammunition depot. Also interesting to know that According to Russian Defense Ministry, during the week, 13 Ukrainian servicemen surrendered, including eight of them in Kupiansk direction, because this report of Russian Defense Ministry is from 30 of December until 5th of January. For whatever reason, in this report of Defense Ministry have not been counted several Ukrainian platoons that did surrender yesterday in Donetsk sector of the front line. Probably we will see a report about this surrender in the weekly update of Russian Defense Ministry in the next Friday. Also according to Russian Defense Ministry, over the past period, missile troops and artillery, operational tactical aviation and unmanned aerial vehicles of the Russian group of forces destroyed 3 HIMARS and Olha MLRS launchers, 1 S-200 launcher, 1 radar of the S-300 air defense system, 1 ST-68 radar station for detecting and tracking low-altitude targets, as well as 2 US-made counter-battery radar stations. Russian air defense units have shot down 1 Su-27, 1 Ukrainian Su-27 fighter jet, and also 1 Mi-8 transport helicopter. And finally, I will add, this is also interesting, that Russian armed forces during the previous week shot down 8 Storm Shadow cruise missiles, 14 Tochka-U tactical missiles, 3 S-200 converted surface-to-surface systems, 107 HIMARS, Olha and Viper MLRS missiles, 3 HARM anti-radar missiles, and 253 unmanned aerial vehicles or drones. And well, this is it when it comes to report of Russian Defense Ministry, according to which during the previous week, from 30 December to until 5th January, Ukrainian armed forces on all sectors of the front line lost up to 5,000 military personnel. If we combine losses, 4,500 military personnel, which is, one may say, enough to create full-blooded new brigade. And if you remember, almost every other report of Russian Defense Ministry, every other weekly report in last 3 to 5 weeks, if not more, casualties on part of Ukrainian side was almost the similar, 4, 5, 6,000 military personnel. So every single week, Ukrainian armed forces are losing basically at least 1 brigade. How long Kiev regime will be able to sustain such losses, I don't know, but I don't think they will be able to maintain defense lines for more than several months. Then I guess because of this high level of casualties, even during this I will say operational pause on the front line, after several months, Ukrainian defense lines will probably begin to collapse, exactly because of this high level of casualties. But yet again, I'm no military expert, so who knows what will happen. This is it when it comes to this news update. Hopefully you will find this video interesting, and if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary about any topic you like, and share video with your friends. It will definitely help to reach wider audience and further develop these channels, these projects on YouTube, on Rumble. And if you think this channel is interesting, useful, informative, and deserves to exist in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support my work with small donations through PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. You can see links under this video in description box or in the pinned comment. That's been said, well, I will note, dear friends, that tomorrow is Saturday, so I will have day off, and because I did increase number of updates on daily basis, I'm not as engaged in comment sections as I used to be before, and to compensate this and to stay highly engaged with our community, I made decision to resume Sunday live streams, and day after tomorrow on Sunday I will have a live stream in the evening about 7 o'clock. Of course, I will give you notice about this live stream in Sunday's first update. Hopefully members of our community will find this news interesting also, because there was sometimes there was not that big of interest towards live streams, but sometimes more than 150 members of our community was on the streams, maybe even more. So, well, let's see. I will try, and if it's okay, it's okay. If not, then, you know, nobody is forcing me to have a live streams. This is it anyway. This is it for now. A little tired, but well, tomorrow it's day off, so have a great day, dear friends. Wonderful weekend, and see you in next updates. Take care.